Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, HollywoodShono here, about to give you another WWE Mayhem video. In this video, we're going to be talking about Versus Mode tips and tricks. Now, as you guys know, Versus Mode is a decent source of 2-star characters, especially while the Event Mode is unavailable. As we know, Event Mode is probably one of the best ways to actually obtain 3-star characters, but as you guys might also know, the only event that is currently available is the Undertaker Event. However, Reliancegames on Reddit has addressed the issue and said that they do have new events and things in the works. And given it is a brand new game, and given it is the holiday season, and I believe they have a robot game that they also have played, which is pretty popular, I'm a little bit more forgiving of that. It is a new game, and you know what? Sometimes it is hard to get a new game off the ground. Now, obviously, one of the biggest issues within the game currently is the stashes that you currently... There's a lot of items that you can't just use, like heal items, revive items. I thought I could blow a bunch of them during the Undertaker event. Turns out it's not. So, what I'm going to be talking about is in Versus Mode, and one of the modes that I like playing, because Level Up and Mayhem seem to be a little bit unfair, is the Rival Mode, which is actually quite a bit of fun. So, I have a rival match active currently. Now, you'll notice here that I'm using a couple guys that are in the 300, high 200 score. Why am I using people with less power than the event? Well, there's a reason for that. Now, Undertaker has a disadvantage and The Rock has an advantage, so the power rating is about the same. The rewards that you get are 151 keys. Now, for Daniel Bryan, who has a class advantage, putting him at 360, he will get 154 keys. Now, Brock Lesnar gets 175 keys when completing this, so we're going to be using Brock Lesnar in this fight. So, these fights are going to obviously be a little bit harder when you're using guys that have less power rating by a significant amount, but you're going to get 175 keys guaranteed. So I think the sweet spot is using a couple guys at high 2s, maybe low to mid 3s, and not using a class advantage. Until level 30, you're going to be dealing with 5 fights altogether. You're not going to be dealing with more. And I kind of actually like the challenge. I've actually been doing this quite a bit on Twitch, where I would purposely use like minimum level 2-star fighters just to challenge me, and actually winning 2 fights with Samoa Joe using said setup. And it's really pretty easy. All you have to do is, just like the Undertaker event, is grapple spam. Now, there is some timing and parries that you have to learn, but once you have that tactic down, it's actually quite easy to do. And it's also something that, well, it rewards good gameplay. And I like that. I like being rewarded for playing better. Now, Jinder Mahal has 470 power, and The Undertaker has 497. So as you see, we get 136 keys by having an advantage of 27. Now, Triple H at 291 does get the 175 keys, and Daniel Bryan has a disadvantage, and he would have 175 keys. So we're going to do this fight with Triple H, as we do have a class advantage. So around the 350 mark is your sweet spot for guaranteeing 175 keys. Obviously, I want to see what the actual values are, as there are some fights in the high 300s and the low 400s. So you kind of just want to get a good value of the good source of key farming. Now, I kind of wanted to do this video mid-versus battle because of the score rating with Daniel Bryan and Undertaker, with various advantages and disadvantages. Now, obviously, the optimal setup in a versus mode is you kind of want to have one of every class. That way, 4 out of 6 fights give you a class advantage. However, if there's a good disadvantage with the Undertaker, then you can use him and farm score that way as well. But generally, if you play well, your 2-star fighters can beat the 3-star fighters, and as we know, even Undertaker at a max 2-star is better than AJ Styles at rank 2 of 4, 3-star. Even though AJ Styles does gain a bunch of energy when he successfully performs the special 2, so you can't write off AJ Styles. But you're going to get some good mileage out of your 2-star fighters, and the 2-star fighters are a lot easier to overdrive. So, what is the point of actually doing versus mode? The point of versus mode, as you see, we have a 70 advantage, so Brock Lesnar has 302, and we get 175 keys. The key of versus mode, basically, if you want to overdrive your 2-star fighters faster, I think versus mode is the way to go. And in this game, until you have a bunch of decently level 3-star fighters, and even beyond then, I think overdriving 2-star fighters is going to be significantly easier. Now, obviously, overdriving 3-star fighters will get you 4-star keys. So, if you can farm 3-star keys through events, you definitely want to do that. And I have a feeling that Reliancegames is going to do something kind of like that Christmas event where they gave everybody a premium case. They might double down and give out more premium cases, and even if you get a 2-star fighter, well, to some more developed accounts that might not be very satisfying. But we're about to take Daniel Bryan to Suplex City as soon as we stun him. No showboat for you. There's the parry. Suplex City. Daniel Bryan should be eliminated. But you know what? Even if Reliancegames does something like that, but really I think the biggest thing is some sort of monetary reward, like $10,000, $20,000, or just add in an update that allows you to sell anything in your stash. I mean, it's probably not going to be a good value, but it's going to be able to get rid of all your consumables. But they need to do it before the stuff expires in 2 weeks. So we beat Mind Warrior, and you get 25 keys, 5 gold, and 154 bucks. Now, one thing that's also important to note regarding versus mode are the milestone and rank up rewards. So right now we're at 12,354 out of 20,000. There's a bunch of rewards that you can get all the way up to 50,000, and this is basically just for playing the game. Like, you get 300 2-star keys at 20,000. At 30,000, you actually get a full 2-star character, 300 versus keys, or 300 2-star keys, 500 versus keys, another 25 gold, 2,500 bucks, and this is just for playing the game. So they reward you pretty well for doing this, and then once you get to the rank up rewards, if you hit rank 1 by simply just playing this mode, or playing anything in versus mode, you get 3 premium chests for free, you get 2 of the full 2-star chests, and then you get 2,500 2-star keys. So you're basically getting 4 2-star fighters for free, 5,000 bucks, and 250 gold for free. So that is why I recommend playing this mode. So we're going to open up these 2 boxes really quick. I'm going to show you guys my roster, and I'm going to show you a team that optimally works in versus mode to maximize your rewards. Now, obviously, it's okay to use a strong fighter and get that. So here we get some cash. Versus mode is probably one of the best sources for cash, as we just got another 1250. So here is my current roster. So AJ Styles at 13 out of 20 is actually weaker than my maxed out 2-star Undertaker. As you see, 235, 23, 45. My maxed out 2-star Undertaker is at 293 and 3,000. So, is it better to focus on your 3-star fighters or your 2-star fighters? I think it's better just to work on the 2-star fighters at first. It is a little bit cheaper. It's still going to be expensive, but you have to get your 3-star fighter up to rank 3 to even see any benefit for that. And it's over 20,000 gold to actually get AJ Styles from level 13 to level 20. It gets quite expensive. So, you can only imagine what 3 and 4 is going to be. It's going to be easier to actually just upgrade some of your 2-star wrestlers. Like, for example, my Brock Lesnar has an overdrive. Overdrive gives you 2% extra stats. And when you're upgrading 2-star fighters, it is a lot easier to overdrive them. Even though I don't have a duplicate overdrive, I've overdriven Brock Lesnar, Chris Jericho, Randy Orton, Ultimate Warrior. So I've only overdriven 4 characters, and I have a roster of over 30 characters. So my 1-star fighters, not really a big deal. I really want to get Kane, because he'll give the Undertaker 15% more damage. He'll basically give everybody 15% more damage. So in the 2-star fighters, we have a bunch. I believe I have 23 2-star characters altogether, which is a significant amount. It's going to take quite a while to level them up. One of the things that I really like is the synergy with Chris Jericho, because if you have Kevin Owens on your team, not necessarily the 2-star Kevin Owens, But if you have 3-star Kevin Owens with Chris Jericho, now my Chris Jericho at 2 stars gives 15% more damage to all. And because I have a 3-star AJ Styles, I have 10% chance of critical hit. And AJ Styles also has synergy if I had a 3-star Chris Jericho to give critical hit damage. And if I had a 1-star Kevin Owens, I'd have 10% chance of a critical hit for all. So I still am missing Kevin Owens, and I'm missing Kane. Kane is really good with Undertaker because both 2 and 3-star Kane will give 15% more damage. So essentially, if I'm running Kane, I would have 30% damage with Undertaker, which is significant. So as you see, both the Undertakers have synergy with Kane, and synergies are pretty important. So we're going to go into another versus rival match, and we're going to go find an opponent. So we have Samoa Joe. Now, let's throw in the other Undertaker. We have Kevin Owens. We do have Chris Jericho, and we have AJ Styles. So I don't think we need Undertaker in this case. Let's use somebody like Brock Lesnar, who's exhausted. Triple H is exhausted. Let's use Ultimate Warrior. So we would need Kevin Owens to have a class disadvantage to actually utilize him. So as you can see, he does raise the power level quite a bit. So unless... Yep, 737, and you still get 125 keys. And for example, Jericho would get 175 keys. Kevin Owens would get 125. So generally, as I've said, you want to kind of get people in the 350 range, maybe 400. That way you can actually get the maximum amount of keys. So if you like this video talking about versus mode tips and tricks, how to maximize your key farming as well as easy ways to get 2-star fighters, please give this video a like rating, comment, subscribe, share this video amongst your friends, and as a favorite, check out my other WWE Mayhem videos playlist, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch, which are all HollywoodShono. And who is your best fighter? Leave a comment down below. Let me know who you're rocking and who you're maining. Have a wonderful day, kids.
www.youtube.com/HollywoodShono. Subscribe, bitches!